Shalom, everybody. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, what I do over here on this platform is I discuss various topics. But one of the main things that I like to hone in on is how people move in society so we can avoid some of the pitfalls. And one thing I want y'all to know is that you're living in a time such as never before where you got to be on point all the time. And you got to have a watchful eye. And you got to be willing to go it alone if you need be. You got to be willing to be real respectful with your own energy. And you got to know how to draw the lines and set healthy boundaries for yourselves because you're living in a time where there's a lot of manipulative, sociopathic, narcissistic people out here that you really got to keep an eye open for. It's people out here that don't have your best interests at heart, and they would not like nothing more but to see you fail. But first, they got to get your energy. They got to get your energy first. See, that's what it's all about. You got people out here who want to harvest your soul out here. Make no mistake about it. Some of you brothers and sisters, you got a lot of spiritual gifts. You got a lot of insight. You got a lot of voltage in you. You got a lot of insight. And a lot of people out here are watching from a distance, attempting to extrapolate your very essence right before getting rid of you. And you got to be careful because there's people out here who will use you till there's nothing left for you to be used anymore. They'll use you up until you're done, and then they will disregard you. And you got to be careful of these people. And they don't always come in the form of a friend or somebody who is literally trying to insert themselves in your life. Sometimes they be enemies, and they'll be outright enemies. Some of you brothers and sisters probably had people growing up, or maybe even now in your life, where you don't understand or know the reason why these individuals tend to target you or insult you, or you don't even know why they made themselves in opposition, and you trying to figure it out. Well, truth be told, they're really just trying to feed off your energy. It's something that they admire about you. There's an unhealthy obsession, and they can see something different about you, and they literally will attack you, antagonize you, criticize you only because it's something they're trying to gain from you. Now, this is a key what I'm about to tell you. Brothers and sisters, you got to learn to ignore your adversaries. You gotta learn to ignore people. You gotta understand that the only way that they can have any power in your life is if you give them the attention, if you give them the time of day, if you give them a response, verbal, text message, don't matter. If you give them a response, they have an open portal into your life. And that's really what they're putting all their eggs in that basket of you actually responding. That's all it really is to it. They're hoping that you just respond to them. They're hoping that you just give them the attention that they so desperately seek and so desperately need. Why? Because that's an energy transfer. And I'm going to tell y'all like this, man, listen. They're not on your level. And this is what we got to know. Look, these people are beneath us. And they essentially are irrelevant in your life. In hindsight, when you think about some of the issues that we've gotten into in our lives and the arguments and back and forths with a lot of you brothers and sisters, and I'm talking about people who are just your foes, not people that you know dwell with or cohabitate with or whatever the case is. I'm talking about people, you don't like them, they don't like you. It is what it is. When you think about it in hindsight, those people don't actively affect your life one way or another. They don't affect you. They don't affect your everyday goings. They don't they don't affect your finances. They don't affect anything in your life. So you got to ignore them because listen, the moment you respond, then they can affect your mental status. They can affect your energy. They can affect your spirit. They can take a toll on you. And that's what they want. And you got to understand there's some people that watch y'all from a distance. And what they're doing essentially is trying to muster up the courage to go full-fledged attack mode on you. Somebody said, walking away has almost destroyed me, but I know they are not for me. I still care and love them, but I have to let them go. See, it's good that you got out in time before staying actually destroyed you. Somebody says, exactly, you're giving them a point of entry when you agree, accept, or give them the yes answer. Exactly. And the goal is to actually destroy you. It's actually to take your life. You got a lot of perpetrators, a lot of gang stalkers, a lot of weirdos, a lot of meat suits, a lot of trolls, a lot of scoffers, a lot of people out there who are envious and they're jealous and they watch. And they watch you with despitefulness and with torture. And what they say to themselves is, let me test that person's patience. They claim to be a child of the Most High. They claim to be righteous. Let me see if them words be true. Let me disrespect them. Let me cast judgment. Let me prick and prod at them. Let me find out if those words be true about that person. This is how these people think. I'm giving you an insight on the mind of a person that is an energy vampire. Let me see what type of riff I can get out of them. Can I get this person out of character? Oh, believe it or not, and this can happen also in intimate relationships and people that you close to. That's why things could be on the up and up. You could be doing good. You could be having a prosperous day. And like clockwork, the person that's supposed to be close to you, the person that's supposed to be helping you, or the person that's supposed to be a friend, all of a sudden, they causing more pain and more pressure, and they calling more of a disruption. Why is that? They want to see how you're going to act. They want that energy out of you. They can sense that you're elevating, and now they want to do things that warrant a response. Because a lot of them are fearful that you're going to outgrow them. And they believe by, triggering you and doing, weird things, doing narcissistic things, such as gaslighting you and acting like they didn't do anything. This is the type of things that people will do when they know you're elevated. Why? Because they want to make sure that your energy doesn't go too far away from theirs. These are the type of people you got to get away from. This is why you got to learn to move in silence. This is why you got to really be on point with who you keep in your circle. Somebody says, at my workplace, they push your buttons that they want to throw down with you. I just looked at them. The guy yelled at, and I just looked at him. Why you do this? He said, because I can make you react. Look, that demon told you exactly what it is. He told you exactly what it was. Hold on. And that's what they want. That's an energy vampire. It's times when you got to ignore these people. There's a lot of online trolls. There's a lot of people who got a lot to say, and you got to ignore them too. Somebody says, I've been in banking for almost 25 years. I recently started working for a Goodwill because the industry I worked in has completely drained me. Sometimes you need to walk away. And that is true. And you got to learn how to walk away. You got to learn when it's time to let somebody fall to their own devices. You know, when somebody's trying to start with you, this is the mindset that you got to develop. Look me up in 2 years. Look me up in 3 years. Stay focused on your goals. Your success is the death of your enemies. When you're taking those initial steps to prosper and doing what it is you know you need to do, those around you who are haters and trolls and scoffers and things like that, yo, they're going to fall at the wayside. They're not going to be able to, your success will be their destruction. And the crazy part about it, all of that, they're going to be forced to watch you elevate. They're going to be forced to see you successful. And they're just going to keep spectating. You just ignore them. You keep moving forward and let them watch, let them hate. But don't, I repeat, do not give them the time of day. Do not give them the time of day. They don't deserve a response. They're not on your brothers and sisters level. They're not on y'all's level. Do you hear me? They're not on your level. Hanzo says they feed off our attention and reactions towards them. I'm dealing with this right now. My instincts is telling me to ignore them no matter how hard they try. Hey, listen, this is confirmation, this video right here. This is confirmation. You got to understand, a lot of people walking around are leeches. And they don't have the Lord in their life. They don't have that spiritual connection. We're talking about people who never had a real personal revelation with the Creator. We're talking about people who are relying on others for their source of energy. There's a lot of people out here that rely on other people for their energy. And you got to understand, brothers and sisters, your connection comes from the source. These people don't want to take the road less traveled and go to the direct source. They don't want to go to the direct source, y'all. No. They find it necessary to feed off of others. And some of these people who do this can be charismatic. A lot of the narcissistic manipulators are charismatic. They do have people gravitate towards them. But the people that are around them, they feed off of them. They insulate themselves and they shield themselves around people. There's a lot of people who can't look themselves in the mirror and know who they are. They don't know who they are. They got identity crisis. There's a lot of people who not, really happy with themselves, no matter how it may look on the exterior. You may think they have it all, but they're not happy with themselves. They looking at somebody who ain't even got what they got. And there's a lot of vain people out here who are putting on a facade every single day, y'all. They're a character every single day. They don't even know themselves. They just learn how to act a certain way in front of people. But when you test their heart of hearts and you test their souls and you test the spirit that's connected to them, you find out that they really ain't about who they say they are. And really, they just use other people. And they feed off of other people. And then they'll leave a trail of bodies behind them. Don't be one of those bodies. Especially you ladies out there who see some of these guys out here. You may like how the brother look. You may like how charismatic the brother is, how he articulate, or whatever the case is. And as you can see from the P. Diddy and Cassie situation, hey, a person can have all the material possessions, a person can have wealth, a person can be well spoken, but a person can be a straight up demon and a monster. And that's why you shouldn't be getting caught up in high value this and high value that. You need to start testing the spirit of these brothers. The spirit of these brothers. What God do they follow? What rules and regulations govern their lives? That's the type of questions you're supposed to be asking. Not just getting with a brother for what's on the exterior. Because guess what? If you got a brother who following the word of God and he has a real spiritual connection, and he might not have everything else. He might not have everything else, but you can work with that person. You can work with that person. Kanika, I'm not sure why you keep laughing in the chat. Is there something funny about what's being said right now? Just asking. I just want to know. Inquired minds want to know what, you know. Normally, when I see laughing emojis, I'm saying something that's funny. Somebody says, I used to take it personal with these people, but it is a demon. Once you get away from one, someone else come right after. They possess family and close friends. That is absolutely true. That's 100% facts. Man, that's how you know you're in a spiritual warfare, because you can be on the up and up, doing what you're doing. And you didn't conquer one beast. And just like some malignant root, here comes sprouting up more entities, more meat suits, more people who gunning for you. And it's like, yo, what is going on here? One after another. Somebody says, I literally experience that every day at the moment. Right, that means that you're growing and you're developing and you're becoming the person that you're supposed to become. And, you know, devils and demons don't want to see that happen. They don't want to see you elevate. Somebody says, I've been watching your videos for years. Ever since I got on SR, semen retention, and NoFap, you really helped me. I could feel the energy from people. The energy is so heavy, I could feel it on my crown chakra. You know, if you've been watching me for years, you know that I'm not too much into the new age philosophy. But when it comes down to empowering yourself, showing discipline over your, you know, sexual energy, it's very powerful. And you will begin to feel the presence of certain entities and forces that are around you. This is a fact. And it's one of those things where I feel as if every man at one point of their life should discipline themselves and go on and take some type of oath of celibacy or abstinence for a time period. Even if you're a married brother or you got, you know, wives or, you know, whatever the case is, you still need that time for fasting, prayer, and supplication. It's times where you got to tap in with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fact. It helps you out, and it does give you a sense of balance. That's another thing. It definitely gives you a sense of balance and peace, and you feel like you're the same person every day, and it's not too many ups and downs and brain fog and all the things that you deal with when you watching things you shouldn't watch and doing things you shouldn't do. So, but that's a fact though. But listen, there's a lot of people out there who are nothing without you. And if you're not careful, they could be your detriment. If you're not careful, they could be the ones who really harm you in the long run. You got to be able to use your discernment. You got to be able to pay attention to the telltale signs and get these energy vampires out of your life for good. Don't let them trigger you. Your day on the up and up, this gonna have a lot of replay value, because when you having one of them days when you on the up and up, you doing what you need to do, and you get that phone call, you get that text message, you get that inbox, and it's somebody trying to trigger you, ignore it. Ignore it. I'm not gonna stream live very long on this. I just wanted to give people a reminder, because the devils and the witches and the meat suits and All the energy vampires and those who not seeking the source of the Most High, they're going to gun for you. They're going to aim for you. And their goal is to make sure that you lose your livelihood, lose your life, because they want that energy instead of seeking the energy from the Almighty. Too many people in this world we living in right now are codependent on other people. Who are you codependent on? Who are you dependent on? Me, as far as me and my household, we choose to serve the Most High. We're not going to try to feed off the backs of others. We're not going to try to gain a name off of somebody else's name. And that's something else y'all see going on in social media. You see people trying to gain a name for themselves by doing what? Using somebody else's name to build themselves up. Attacking each other to what? Build a name for themselves. That ain't what we about. And it's all about reserving your energy, setting healthy boundaries for yourself. Look, man, y'all have a blessed day. I got more content coming. If y'all want to support my work, support me on the Cash App, New Breed Global Truth 77. Thank each and every one of y'all. More material coming. Shalom and peace.